y'all, it's Cameron with the K coming to you guys with a really exciting video. So today's video is sponsored by Casetext.com. So Casetext is a legal research website. On there you can do all types of legal research, from case law, briefs, statutes, you name it. They have everything on their website. I'm going to be showing you guys a few unique key features that they have, as well as my step-by-step process on how I do my legal research as a practicing attorney, as well as when I was a law student. So without further ado, let's get into it. Go to Casetext.com. And here I'm already logged in. As you see over here, there's an icon that just says KB for my initials. So the first thing I'm going to do is talk about what is Casetext. So Casetext is a legal research database platform. So on their website, they actually have an About Us. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. It just says, Casetext makes innovative legal research tools for lawyers who take pride in doing their best work. At Casetext, we believe that all attorneys should have access to quality legal research. So we built an award-winning legal research platform that makes research faster and more accurate using advanced artificial intelligence. Then we priced our services so every attorney can afford it. Love that, because a lot of people aren't with a law firm that is willing to pay for their legal research platform, and every attorney needs to have that type of access. So I love that they make it affordable. So important. And they just have some other details and information about Casetext, which I love. Oh, okay. They have a few firms I recognize on here that rely on Casetext. Let's go back up to the top. And they also have a link that says why Casetext. So let's go ahead and click that. And it says the best results from the best tools for the best price. Love that. And something else that they have is they give you a 14-day free trial. Super important, especially for new attorneys, somebody that's starting their own law firm, or even just law students that are curious of how it works. Go ahead, subscribe to it, see how it is, and then if you really like it, maybe pitch it to your school to see if you can add that into your legal research platform. So my school, that's what we did. That's how I have access to Casetext, is because my school brought it on as one of our legal research platforms that we would have access to. So I love that. And then they just have some more information about how to use it, other fun things, which I love. Kara AI, I'm gonna talk about that later. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to their initial website link so I can talk to you guys about how I utilize this for legal research. So whether I'm doing it for work or when I was in school, I always start off by changing this over here. I've already changed it, but to the right of the search area, you can change what jurisdiction you're in. This is super important for law school, real life, everything. It's super important for you to know which jurisdiction you're researching under, because you don't want to find the perfect case and it just not have any relevance or precedence in your jurisdiction. So I always change that first. So because I'm in Alabama, I automatically put it on the 11th Circuit, and then I also add the Supreme Court. Sometimes I don't, but for the sake of this video, I will go ahead and do that, and I'll save that and apply jurisdictions. So you'll see it over here in the corner that it says I have 2. Make sure that's correct. Everything's all good there. So I'm going to go ahead and search some key terms. So when you click the search area, you see that a table comes up. Now this is phenomenal, and I just love this. It's super accessible and super important. So here essentially is like short keys for you to be able to search within a paragraph, within a sentence. You're able to search multiple different endings, such as thinking, thinks, think, if that makes sense. So you're able to search multiple different things. I use this every single time I do research. It's gonna cut down your time for literally in half, or even shorter than that. And the specific term for this is Boolean search. I believe I'm saying that correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and test out some things. Our research question of the day is going to be, what are the elements for... I was gonna do something in employment law, considering that's the area that I work in, but maybe I should do something a little bit more general. I'll do employment law. So let's see, what are the elements of a... Let me think. I don't want to do something too controversial. Okay, what are the elements of a gender discrimination claim? Boom, Title VII. Super simple. Title VII. And gender and discrimination. Boom. And then you can also use parentheses to like kind of categorize things into paragraphs and sentences and all that, but I'm gonna try to keep it somewhat general. So let's see if we can search something and find something under that. I have a little tab up here in the top right corner that is a check mark that kind of tells you a little checklist of things that you haven't tried out on Casetext that you should try out and things like that. So Give me all these tips and tricks, thank you. So let's just sort through some case law. So only one case came up. Hey y'all, editing Cameron. So it's my fault why only one case came up, you guys. I forgot to put a space in between Title 7. Rookie mistake, but just do like I did and redo a different search. Stay tuned. Let's just try gender and discrimination. Okay, so gender and discrimination, we have 1,000 cases. On the left side, they have the different courts. You have cases, statutes, regulations, rules, admin materials, briefs, analysis, black letter law, holdings. So let's go ahead and click holdings. That can be super helpful when you're in law school, even as an attorney. Sometimes you just want to go straight to the point. You can input them into different briefs and things like that. And speaking of briefs, let's go ahead and check out their briefs over here. So here, which can be super duper helpful if you're drafting your own brief for your partner at your law firm or for your own firm, whatever the case may be, to kind of look up different things you can include in your own personal brief. So right now we're under gender discrimination, and there's a few different briefs on motions to dismiss for failures to the claim. That might be really helpful to see what I'm on the plaintiff side, to see what the defense may argue and how I could argue against that. And of course, you can narrow down to the year over here if you want to really do a more narrow search. That's always the goal, is to try to narrow down as much as you can. And over here in the top right corner, there's a sort by. So you can sort by newest to oldest, oldest to newest, relevance, whatever that may be. So let's click analysis and see what they're talking about here. Here is more of like secondary sources, which are super helpful when you're trying to get a more broad view of what's really going on. I like going to secondary sources because sometimes opinions just are a little bit confusing, or they don't really give you the answer that you're looking for, or you're really looking for a more in-depth analysis, which is why secondary sources are beneficial. So they have a whole section on Casetext, which is so helpful, that says analysis, so you can just go there and get somebody else's opinion and expertise on a specific topic so you can better explain it to yourself or your boss or the court. And then they have a black letter law section. Let's click that. So here is just the straight up black letter law and attached to a case in the jurisdiction you need. Like, I mean, we're done. That's it. No, but seriously, that is so beneficial. Super helpful just to have that. And let's go back to cases. And then we're going to go ahead and just select the first one. I sorted it by, let's go back and sort it by relevance just to make sure. And then, of course, they give you some tips. So let's just click this first one, and I'm going to pull up in a different window. So here, we have Bush versus Hughes in the Middle District of Alabama. So let's see. So when you first click on a case, this is generally what you see. You see at the top it has red, and then it has attorney analysis. There's no analysis on this case, but that would be helpful if you just want to quick go to citing briefs. Not cite any brief, citing cases. So that's helpful. Let's click that and see what other cases have cited this. So then now you have 2 other cases you can possibly add in your memo, in your brief, whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and go back. This, it just has a summary written by judges, a little bit more summary. I love a good summary because I hate reading through a case and I'm like, that's literally nothing I needed. So it's really helpful to have as many summaries. But of course, always read the entire case before like submitting it and kind of vouching for that case without knowing what it exactly says. So keep scrolling. Here's the order, and of course y'all know just your traditional kind of case law. You can also highlight different things. So if I want to highlight, let's see, I want to highlight this first sentence here, argue. So it says Sheriff Hughes argues that Bush's Title 7 discrimination claim, which is against his official capacity only, should be dismissed, blah, 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 all that good stuff. So that may be something I want to highlight. So I'm just going to put my cursor over it. And as y'all see, a highlight comes up as well as an add note. So you can highlight it. Boom. It's highlighted. If you click this little star looking thing right here to the right, it says show similar issues. So then it'll bring up a different window and it'll show other cases not specific in your jurisdiction. So make sure you're paying attention to the courts that they're referencing. But it'll talk about other cases that have discuss a similar thing within that paragraph or within what you highlighted. So that's really helpful if you're looking for just additional cases to say that although this may not be within our jurisdiction, it could be persuasive authority about XYZ. That's super helpful and beneficial. Now if you want to add a note, let's say you want to go in here and add a note to something. So it says courts have generally rejected request to permit Title VII claims of either race discrimination, national origin discrimination, where the claim was not asserted in the EEOC charge. So let's say we want to add a note there. Click add note and say possible issue on motion to dismiss. Boom. So there's a note there, and then it goes into like a little square, so then you can click that and read what your note was. And let's see what other things that might be helpful. So of course they have like the download section on the far left corner. You can click PDF. If you want to download it, you can download it with the highlights, without the highlights, 1 column, 2 column. It just depends on how you want it printed out and download it. And then of course prints, you can add, bookmark the document and create folders. That's super helpful. I also did that on like Nexus and Westlaw when I was in school. You can add an alert. So if any changes within this case, it'll send you an alert to your email or however you have it set up. These little 3 dots also allow you to share a link to this document. So when you're working with, I'm not sure what Clio is, sorry, but if you want to share the link to this document, you can click that. Now this is a major key. At the very top, it says copy cite. I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I don't feel like trying to think about what the citation is. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up a Word document just so you guys can see. And I'm going to copy, paste that, and boom, there's a cite. Now, sometimes there are things that you need to change, so always double checking your blue book. Most of the time, it's pretty accurate. Also, when you're copying something within the document, it gives you a chance to do the same. So let's go ahead and highlight this. And then citation format, this is where you can change the format of your citation prior to clicking copy citation. Do this first just to make sure it's on the right track. I have it selected as blue book, which is the default. Let's go with it. That's perfect. Then I'm going to go ahead and highlight this again. And then you can do copy with citation, copy as parenthetical citation. Major key, I am a parenthetical lover. I love them. I think they're just helpful. They give a lot more details without having to give a full illustration when that's just not what you need, because the case might only be good for something specific, so you don't want to go into too much detail. So I'm going to copy both to give you guys an example. So first I'm going to copy with citation. I'm going to use the same paragraph. So I'm going to go into my Word document and put copy with citation so you guys can know the difference, and paste that. So that's what it looks like, your regular citation. It even italicizes it for you. Format is good, just to make sure. Add that paragraph. And there's, of course, double check the formatting. That looks pretty good to me, so boom. Now let's go back in and let's see if we can copy as a parenthetical, and it'll put like a little copied in the left corner. And let's go into our Word document and put copy as a parenthetical. Paste, and boom. So as you know, for a parenthetical, it has the case title, the name of the case, and then in parentheses next to that, it has the quote that you're copying. So really helpful. I love that it automatically does that. That's a major key. They also have a chat, which can be helpful. In this corner right here, has like a little chat thing. It says, "Hi Cameron, we're here to help you have an excellent legal research experience on Casetext. To minimize this screen, click on the circle in the lower right corner." So if you want to start a new conversation, get some help. If you're struggling, I always say use this as a last resort. Some other platforms also have like a live chat. It's really helpful when you're stuck in a rut and you can't figure it out. But you're not going to learn, and speaking to law students, you're not going to learn how to do good case law research unless you do it, and practice makes perfect. So don't lean too much on this, but definitely use it if you get stuck and you just can't find something. Or if you have a question about the website, that's always really helpful. So let's go back, click just the case text. You're going to go back to the regular screen, and I'm going to show you guys two of the fun little things that they have on here. So you can drag a complaint or brief right here, and it will help you find additional case law. So what I'm going to do, I have a sample one from my LLR class. Okay, so I'm just going to use the last memo we had and drag and drop it in there. Boom. Kara AI is going to do its thing. So after it finds your document, Kara AI is going to ask you what issue or fact you want them to focus on. So they give you some suggested issues from your document that you submitted. So it's about guest statute. So let's say I want to look up wantonness, some cases on wantonness. And up here, they search all state and federal. So make sure you change that jurisdiction if you're looking for something specific. Here, they have a few different things that come up. They even have motion type if you're looking for something specific. They have additional causes of action you can search for, etc., etc., etc. So that can be really helpful when you're looking for additional cases. So I'm going to go ahead and click the first one, and let's open it in a new tab. So then, again, you can just read through it. It's cited a lot in different cases. it gives you an update on whether it's overruled or not, which is really helpful. I know that can be something difficult when you're first starting out legal research as a law student to figure out all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so it has all the information. You can, again, show similar issues on specific paragraphs. And if you want to change the topic you're looking for, you can click the little search up here and say, just guess statute. See what comes up, and then now it highlights everything that has the guess statute. So you can use that, you can use Control F, whatever you feel comfortable with. Here you can browse statutes and regulations with the little, of course, statute sign. Scroll here. Then there's history if you want to go back to something that you've already searched. So that's helpful. They even bring up the highlights that you make, the notes that you've added, the time, and all that stuff. That can be really helpful because sometimes you may step away from your desk, step away from your office or something, and then you still want to be able to reference that. So I'm going to go back to the regular Casetext screen. And there's one more thing I want to show you guys. So when you scroll all the way to the bottom, you can share Casetext with your friends and get a month free when they subscribe, and they'll get 30% off. So that's something just additional that you can do. Also, you can click coverage down here, and it's going to tell you again a little bit more about Casetext legal database coverage. So it says it has you covered with federal case law, 50 state case law, published and unpublished cases, federal and state statutes, federal regulations, select administrative agency decisions, federal briefs database, case summary database, black letter law database, attorney authored legal analysis, and specialty court coverage. Really helpful because if you've searched on Lexis and Westlaw, which I'm not putting them down, I love them both. I love all these platforms for different reasons. It just kind of depends on what I'm looking for, and if I can't find it in one place, I go to the other. So this is an additional resource you guys can use. I highly recommend Casetext. If you haven't tried it, definitely give it a try. I love that it's easy to use. I do not like some of the other ones just because it's so confusing. Like, I also think with the Kara AI, with dropping the document, that's just a game changer for any platform. This is the only platform that I know that does that, where you can drop a document and it's going to search for case law for you. That is just a time saver. So that's pretty much a summary of Casetext. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave me some comments down below, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And make sure you click that notification bell so you are always notified when I upload a video. Thank you again to Casetext for sponsoring this video. I loved working with you guys, and I hope this was helpful for all of my viewers. Love you guys. Later!